Hari guys, happy Saturday. It's High Priestess Jamila, and I am cleaning at the moment, and I thought it would be fun to come and do a vlog. Of course, I'm not going to stay on here the whole time I'm cleaning, but I thought I would come on here and multitask and talk about some really important things and just kind of make my position be known on YouTube because there's some real crazy stuff going on here that I want to talk about and talk about what my plans are, uh, for like cleaning and clearing that stuff out, why I'm doing it, why I have to do it, why it is important to do it, okay, and just, some other stuff. So, I'm cleaning out my refrigerator. I usually clean out my refrigerator like once every few weeks. And since the past few weeks has been really grueling as far as with work, as far as with the business, as far as the constant disruptions being caused by folks on the internet, I'm kind of a week behind with that. But I'm getting it done today. Um, so I always make sure that I have plenty of ammonia when I clean. And I always have my little bleach spray bottle and stuff. And I wanted to talk to you guys, especially those of you that are in the summer solstice circle, about what we are doing here. Spirit wanted me to go ahead and release to the public because when I first, got the information as far as doing the Sabbath, it was kind of like more of a secretive thing. But now we can go ahead and open it up more to the public so that if people wanted to participate, they could definitely do so. Okay, and I don't know what is going on with that. I need some scissors or something. I don't know what that is or what's happening there. I'm gonna start. I have a tendency to wash my dishes before I put them in the dishwasher, y'all. So, um, what I wanted to say, and this is no shade to anybody that wants to continue to do the black sector. Um, this is no shade to those people. I'm just saying what I feel is going on because it's too strange and it's too much and it's too well thought out and it's too plotted out. Okay. Hey, it's Juneteenth. I thought that was the 19th. Well, happy Juneteenth to you too, hon. Yeah, that sector is way too well thought out. It's way too pre-orchestrated for me to not believe. And I've been talking to you guys about this a lot lately. To not believe that on some level, it definitely is like a spiritual situation to where it's definitely another reality almost. Because again, a lot of the things that were happening, all of the things that were being said about me were made up. Yeah, we need to get this. I need this trash can. A lot of that stuff was made up. Um, it was rooted in racism and hate. And it wasn't just It was, black people were included with it. Okay. And that's a lifestyle that I have never lived. I've always had a very quiet and peaceful life. Never have committed any crimes. Never have been a criminal in my life. Never committed any crimes that I had never been caught for. Caught, you know, I've always lived a life that was pretty much straight laced. Um, and maybe I'll get into my life story a little bit too today, maybe. But just FYI, I was kind of looking through uh, YouTube today, and I noticed that when you Google a certain person's name on YouTube, a lot of videos come up about me. A lot of videos come up with me responding over and over and over again, still being very ignorant to what was going on and how to get out of that situation. Even though I knew how to deal with the situation, I didn't really know how to get out of it, right? So I'm looking at these videos and I'm thinking, this is not my legacy. This is not something that my ancestors and my spirit guides would have ever involved me with. So what I've decided to do, because there's quite a few channels on here um, that were encouraging that sector, um, eventually I'm going to get some kind of court order, uh, and I'm going to have links, and I'll be sending it over to YouTube to ask them to remove those videos, okay? And if they don't remove them willingly, then I'm willing to go all the way to the Supreme Court with it, because that's not my legacy. Like I said, it was me and my family was pretty much hijacked into this world of gang signs. That wasn't anything that my spirits wanted. That's the reason why they're going to always protect us. And that's the reason why they're going to always provide us with the resources that are needed to not have any involvement. I'm serious about that. I never wanted to be involved with that online debacle. Yes, it did affect us in our real lives, and it wasn't fair to me. I really don't care about. Put it in that bag right there, the black one. Yeah, I really don't care about it was. Who it was. Like if it was like a top level government official, something that involved me and my family that might have had some mental illnesses or sick or something, or if it was a famous person that was involved with it. It doesn't matter to me, okay? Somebody's status like that doesn't matter to me, and it really honestly doesn't. The point is that I was involved with it. My name was involved with it. My family name was involved with it. My children's names were involved with it. And we never consented. We never consented to being involved with that. Okay. And it's something that I uh, absolutely refuse to continue to be involved with. If anybody has an issue with that, I'm sorry. I can't continue to be involved with that. It's based upon spiritual workings that I'm doing as well. What I realized essentially is that we never consented to being involved with that. We didn't. And, I don't believe that anybody that on a humbug decides that they don't want to have anything to do with it can actually do that, because I feel that it's being done somehow by the use of shamanism and witchcraft. And I've stated this. I actually spoke about this a few years ago, to where I couldn't see that those people were being hijacked. I can see that now, to where, and if that's a place that you want to be in, if that's something that you enjoy being in, then more power to you. I wish you the best in that situation, because I don't hate everybody that's involved with it. But what I discovered about it is that you are, so to speak, being hijacked. Uh, and some of the people that are involved with it could actually know what's going on. Like, they could have firsthand knowledge of why these people, they just keep going and keep going. I believe that Mike, which is one of the ones that was being, and I kind of believe that he was somebody that clearly had an invested interest, and still does have an invested interest, because he took his channel down. But I noticed that he was viewing my TikTok profile, so I'm guessing that he's planning on taking the stalking over to TikTok. So I don't know, but I noticed that this morning. I'm guessing that he's supposed to be out away on his holiday vacation or whatever he's doing, but yet he is looking at my TikTok profile. I got the notification earlier today. Okay. Him and a few other people are people that I would not on a normal basis have a regular interaction with. And I don't care about social media and whoever's desire it was to continuously have me involved. I think that it definitely went too far. I think it's ridiculous that they're sticking to the script. I think it's ridiculous that he can't admit that the sexual relationship that me and him had was, in fact, made up. It was fake, and it was done strictly and specifically by him to stick with his plot against me. Which, what world are you living in? What reality do you live in that a woman is going to be judged because she had sex with someone? So that's those people's reality that they live in. Also, the reality that they live in, apparently, is that if a man does not if a man misbehaves or something, that means that you're worth less. If a man does that, that's their version of it. And it was really silly, but apparently means a lot to some people. Apparently it didn't mean anything to me, because I know who I am, and I know exactly where I belong in this world, and where I belong in my own mind and life. I know exactly who I am. Okay. Because again, like I said, I was 37 years old when the involvement first began. So I already had an entire lifetime, plans in my life, goals and aspirations. And I believe that, those people were put into place to, I don't want to say stop. I want to say to stop all those plans. You know what I mean? Which I believe that the whole thing was a hate crime. I do. And my life is not defined by hate crimes. You know what I mean? I've never committed a hate crime against anybody. I'm not anybody's scapegoat. That doesn't exist in my reality. Okay? Nobody should ever be judged by the actions of others. And it's not allowed in my utopia. It's not allowed. and it has nothing to do with witchcraft. The things that went on have nothing to do with actual witchcraft either. It doesn't. So, is this lighter? Yeah, this one I need to throw away. Um, and I think that that was how it was being sold. I think it was sort of like, whatever it was, oh, let's add this to the fold. Let's, what do they call that? Burn the witch or something. And no, that's not my story. That's not my story. That's not my relationship that I have with God or the goddess. Um, and when I noticed that it started to affect my real life was when I knew that it was time for me to walk away, essentially. Now, can you just walk away? I don't believe so. I'm going to tell y'all straight up and down. I'm going to let these dishes sit here for a second while I go sit down and have some Coca-Cola. I'm gonna tell y'all straight up and down. I believe spiritual work has to be done to get out of that. I believe that the reason why those people over and over and over again, whether or not they want to admit to this or not, for them to over and over again be caught up in the same storyline that to me has never really been interesting. I think that, yeah, I definitely think that there's interesting people involved. Do I think that it would be necessary to be in the black sector to get views and likes and clicks? No, I don't. Okay. It's never been necessary for my business. In fact, it just got my channel blacklisted, or either messed up the algorithms on my channel. However, the spiritual work that I offer and that I do has nothing to do with algorithms and keywords. Okay. So, um, I think if you're going to get something out of it, you would have to be able to control that situation. But I think that it's dangerous. I think that people should think about not doing it because you are caught up constantly in this cycle of having to discredit the same person over and over again. And it is so exhausting. And I can tell y'all, coming from a business owner, Divine Services has been in business since 2015. It has never been a requirement for me to manifest $1, not $1, for me to do that. And in fact, if you look back on the history of this channel has always been very successful with my views. Now, of course, after several years of being falsely flagged, I got demonetized because of the false flagging on this channel. It sucks. But again, like I stated, the spiritual work that I offer to people, it has nothing to do with views, clicks, or likes or algorithms. Okay. Now, obviously, if I were to get banned from a website, then I wouldn't be seen on that website. Right. When you guys come to me for spiritual work, your ancestors are bringing you to me. Your spirit guides are bringing you to me. That has nothing to do with YouTube or algorithms or views or clicks. Okay. So, in order for you to get out of that, if you really want to leave, you have to literally get out of that reality. And the reality was created on the internet. And this is what makes it very simple. Okay. But I feel like some of the people that are involved with it, they absolutely, yeah, they do want your real life to be affected by it. Absolutely. And you'd have to be a person that has a strong understanding of spirit and an understanding of these alternative realities. That sector is an alternative realm or reality. That's why the only time anybody heard any truth being spoken, especially when it came to going up against this dude, was when I would speak the truth. I mean, and he lied the whole time. And the reason why is because that was his job. His job was to lie. Even when people could sit and watch him doing the things that he was doing, his job was still to lie. It did not matter. It did. Hey, Trinity, how are you, sweetie? You said help, or were you trying to say hello? Okay. Anyway, it didn't matter. Okay. It honestly doesn't matter. It's a script. Even if I would come on here and talk perfectly sensible, when the live button got hit, it was, let's stick to the script. We cannot admit that this was something that and if you're under mind control, like this dude is under mind control, how could you ever expect to hear the truth out of this person? This is the whole thing about it. It's perplexing. It's very perplexing. And if when the situation just continuously perplexes you, why sit around and ponder it the rest of your life? You're throwing your life away. Okay, I knew you wasn't saying help, girl. I'm like, what? Oh, am I really? Girl, I'm sitting there drinking some Coca-Cola and smoking a cigarette at the moment, but I'm getting ready to go and resume. And I got a full bottle of ammonia, so I'm getting ready to get it all scrubbed up and stuff, especially that refrigerator. It ain't that bad though. I just had to get some I had some tomatoes in there. It was like, wow, look at this tomato. Like this tomato is it's time for this tomato to go in the trash. So, anyway, back to what I was saying. I'm glad that I could be of some motivation to you guys. Make sure that you burn your sage at the same time and that you ask your spirit guides to move out any bad spirits and to just banish them through time and space, because I got my smoke going too. So, anyway, um, when I am going to send over some stuff to YouTube, and then I'm also gonna, even though I'm still on YouTube, and views and stuff doesn't really matter. I still want to let it be known to YouTube how my channel, because I kept asking them. I was like, what happened to my views? My views all of a sudden went down in 2020, which doesn't matter again, but it's still, it's like, why? What is going on here? You know what I mean? Um, I built my channel on doing readings. That's how this channel got built. That's how I got the 25,000 subscribers. And it's been crawling upward, crawling literally. My channel has been so messed up, and it may not even be that sector's fault. It could be just talking about the witchcraft, but I think it is, because they were bragging about flagging me, and they were bragging about sitting around all day just falsely flagging me. And what world do you live in? What reality do you live in where you're sitting around falsely flagging somebody all day and you think you're winning? Of course you're going to feel like you're winning, because that's the world you live in. I personally, there are people that that have done me dirty. There are people that have sent people after me. There are people that have done smear campaigns against me. I would never sit around all day. I would never sit around all day flagging that person's channel. I don't have time for that. You know why? Because regardless to if she does it to me, I'm still going to get clients, because real authentic spiritual work has nothing to do with views and clicks and algorithm. Yes, it is a good thing to have social media. I have Instagram, I have TikTok. Now I did have issues with this person following me around from platform to platform. I believe that there was some probably some hired people, and it just doesn't matter. Spirit's still gonna do what spirit does. Hey Malik, how are you? So I trust in my spirit guides, and so I'm gonna clean it up in the next few months. Anything, including my channels. So there's a channel, and I'm gonna link it. But I went over there to upload a video because I hadn't used that channel in years. And I went over there to upload a video, and I went and looked at the community wall, and I noticed that I was posting about that sector on the wall. I deleted every single post. And so, for example, I ran into a video that only has a little over 100 views on it. And it was where I was talking about why I continued a relationship with this person. Videos like that are going to be removed completely. It should not have ever been a part of anything that Jamila Briscoe should have ever been involved with. So there's no need for me to keep that video up. Videos like that are gonna go. Also, videos that are being uploaded by other people. Okay. There's a channel called, I think, Nike Town or something like that. And this person is constantly uploading stuff. So eventually I am going to gather up all of those links. I'm not going to go through individually and flag those channels, those videos. I'm not going to do that because who has time for that, right? But I am going to send over a nice letter to YouTube and say, please remove this because, it's not anything socially that I would be involved with. It isn't. I've got to be true to myself. It's no shade to anybody else. I understand there are some people that enjoy that type of content. I understand there are people that enjoy making that kind of content. I should have never been involved, however, okay? And I wasn't given the green light to involve me or to keep me involved with it just because I met up with him. Everybody makes mistakes. Doesn't mean that mistakes have to follow you for the rest of your life. Not having money for basic stuff. Malik Young, you are living in that reality of lack, of not having enough. And you have to take some time, even if you don't have the money to go and get some help with that. You have to take out the time to not focus on what you don't have and focus on how spirit guides you to get out of that, right? I'm so sorry, Malik. Yeah. Yeah, that's hard. Um, it's definitely one of those things to where if you're dealing with that and then you look at people and they have houses and they have plenty and it's like, how did they get there? They got there because they changed their reality. Oh, you moved from Alabama to Florida. Okay. Um, I have a few clients in Florida, and it doesn't really, like, the location itself doesn't really matter. I do know that the southern states are like the Bible Belt. It doesn't surprise me because I have had continuously difficulty living in the South that I did not have previously when I lived in the Midwest, which is why I'm going back home. Um, and so it's one of those things to where you would need to have a reading to look at that to see what's going on, because I believe that if you'd have moved from Alabama to Florida and you had like $500,000 or even $100,000, you wouldn't have those issues. Same thing in Georgia. Um, you know, I've been targeted ever since I moved to Georgia. It's very strange. Yeah. Well, location at this point, just FYI, before I continue discussing what I was going to discuss, location changing locations can help, but you need to change locations. Like, you need to literally get out of that spiritual reality that you're in. So just changing locations is not going to help. Okay. Okay, and you're LGBT. Yeah. Yeah. Mm, I'm not even going to say what I think of that, as far as there being a church on every corner. Um, I think that it depends on how you set the tone for your own environment, and what happens to you is what really matters. You know what I mean? So just keep that in mind, because a lot of people will say, why did I go from this place to the other place and it seemed like it's following me? It'll seem like it's following you. And it is because of the spiritual realm that you're in. And there's a lot of people that are in spiritual realms and they don't even see it. They don't even see that they have been pulled into that. And that's how it manifests in your physical reality. Okay. And the church itself kind of encourages you to accept your spiritual reality or your physical reality and seek God and not do anything about it. You know what I mean? And I don't agree with that. Yeah, seek God, but I feel like you have to have an open mind. And I feel like discouraging that open mind is what's hurting a lot of people. It is. Especially depending on what it is that you're trying to do. Is it a coincidence that it seems like small business owners are being targeted? No, it's not a coincidence. Okay. Entrepreneurs are being targeted. So what? There's something that can be done about that. It is. And the longer you stay caught up in the situation, the more time that goes by and you're not making a difference. And you can't say, oh, well, this is just life, this is just the way it is. And if you accept that, then that's the way it's going to be. But it doesn't have to be that way. So depending on how long people have been in that, depends on how difficult it can be to get out of that. You know what I mean? I've only had 1 foot in it, literally 1 foot. you know, and I think that I totally was submerged in it for like a whole year total. There would be times when I would be out of it, but I had to realize, hey, that right there is a spiritual reality that is manifesting in the physical. And a lot of people are being forced. Rituals and stuff is being done. Um, to keep people there. And the worst always happens when you're trying to get out. The worst happens because they're constantly watching. Okay. And that's why there was a combined effort, I guess, so to speak, to try to stop me from moving back home. It doesn't matter where I'm at. I'm out of that situation completely. Let me plug my phone in, y'all. Okay, I'm back in my kitchen now. I was sitting back in the sunroom. I'm completely out of that. I don't have anything to do with that. Doesn't matter even if I talk to people that are involved with it. It doesn't matter. I'm encouraging those people to see exactly what's going on. Okay, I got my phone plugged up. You gotta open your eyes and see what's happening. Okay. Now, a lot of people, especially witches and people that practice the occult, they kind of look at people that when shamans start talking the way that I'm talking, and they're like reality shifting. What is that? And that might be because they are satisfied with where they're at. Okay, for whatever reason, it's fine with them. You know, and they flourish in that. But if you're in a reality that you're not flourishing in, then you don't belong there. And if you're lucky enough to have an understanding of that, I can't see the chat anymore, y'all. If you're lucky enough to see what's going on, then you really have nothing to worry about, do you? And you have to be very thorough when it comes to the intentions that you are setting. You have to be very thorough, and you may not think of everything right away, but then you'll notice little stuff. Okay? And this didn't happen to me. This wasn't discovered to me until I literally, first of all, I was not on government assistance since I was 18 years old. That's a lie. However, I do feel that I feel like since I was a child, my reality was being created for me as well as my parents. And so that's why your parents are the way that they are, because they don't understand that they need to navigate their own reality. Okay? And this is not just known by the top elite. This is something that's pretty much well known. And you have to use whatever knowledge that you have. You know, I would never live in a reality where the people around me would have to suffer for me to have something in life. That's a reality that I would never live in. Okay? People may have a negative opinion about my spiritual beliefs, but at the end of the day, people don't have to be hurt. People don't have to die. I don't have to sacrifice the people that I love, like my children, family, for nothing. And that's the reality that I choose to live in. And people that choose something else, it's their choice. Okay? So, it's, I think that it has a lot to do with not just how you were raised, but then as an adult, what you start to discern as an adult, your discernment. And, for some people, that is their discernment, is that, now, listen, I'm not a love and light person all the time, because that love and light doesn't always apply. No, I do not believe in hate and committing hate crimes. No. But, you're going to find that through your journey, there are going to be people who are going to try to jump in front of you and jump in your way. Those people can see that you're trying to go somewhere, and they want to stop you. Okay? They want to stop you from going where you want to go. And some people become very, very obsessive about that. Okay? Some people become very obsessive about that. But, it's I have a belief that anything is possible and that you can accomplish anything. Okay? But you've got to discern, and people need to start discerning what and how they're able to do it. Okay? So if you just stay, there are some people that can just, they can just kind of stay, and they're happy with that. They can just stay, under that because, maybe their family had enough money. It's a lot of people that are millionaires, and they don't necessarily have to, but a lot of us out here that are starting businesses, starting a business is good because guess what? You are creating jobs. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with starting a business. Okay, there, but I do think that there are certain people that have certain desires to stop people from doing that. Okay, is this something that you need to be concerned about? No, no, I don't believe it is. But I do think that if you have someone that's pushing or pressing the issue, that there is something that you can do about it. You don't have to fold up for people and go, oh, these people clearly don't want me here and I'm just going to go. You don't have to do that. Okay. And then you don't have to, you know, it's pretty annoying, but you don't have to, resort to violence either. That's not good. You don't, that's not even necessary, and it's not even cute. But that is literally the reason why there's some people that are literally out here going postal, because they're being controlled. And so protect yourselves, man. Please protect yourselves. You know, there's certain things and isms that the world seems to be codependent on. You know, again, you don't have to allow those things to affect you and your experiences in life. You know what I mean? You can protect yourself. A lot of y'all that are still alive and you haven't ran into some crazy person welding a knife or welding a gun, you're very lucky. You know what I mean? All right. Let me get some new dishwater. Goodness gracious. So, you know, but the a lot of the videos I'm gonna, well, not right now, but probably in the next couple of days, I'm gonna skim through my videos and clean up my social media because I want it gone, because it's not something that I've ever thought was fun or cute. I haven't. And innocently enough, all I did was try to be social. And it turned into 10 years of a lot of stuff happening in social media that I would have preferred not to happen. Now, did that lead me to people that I want to keep around in my life? Yeah, of course. It led me to people that, I'm not saying that all bad came out of it. You know what I mean? But it's something that it's not my legacy. It's not my legacy. Okay. Let me get back to the chat. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, it's not something that's my legacy, guys. It's not. And I have to be true to myself when it comes to that. Okay. Um, there are some realities that people are living in that is totally bad for their heart, their mind. And you have to make a decision and say, you know what? This is not good for me. Even though you may tell yourself, oh, I'm cool, I'm calm, I'm collected, this is nothing to me. But at the end of the day, if every single day, every day, right? If every single day of your life you're getting upset, stressed out about something every day, it starts to take its toll on you, doesn't it? You know, your presence there is your choice. And let's face it, technically, those people have not kidnapped someone that you love unless they actually kidnapped someone you love. Somebody that I loved got kidnapped. I would be upset every single day. But that's not what's happening. It's a choice that you have to make. Okay? So, that's what I'm saying. And I just, I'm ready to get back to the normal me. Another example would be my landlord. Your landlord. My landlord put me in a reality where there was a wild animal and babies, wild baby raccoons up in my attic. Okay. And so that's because the landlord had the power to do that. They had the power to decide we're not going to fix that. We're not going to tend to it. And that's the reality that we're going to force her to live in, you know? And it's my fault that I didn't go ahead and pack up and move, so I got to deal with the aftermath of it, And it's called being an adult, It's just one of those things. So, pretty soon I'm gonna be living in the reality of home ownership. Finally, I think that you know, I was looking at this scary story on TikTok where they were saying that you know they were blaming it on the landlords, saying that they're creating this reality where people will be renters forever, and but you don't have to accept that, right? Because it does seem like that. If they're making life harder for you by, not fixing that leaky refrigerator or by not fixing known leaks in the house, guess what? If you have a leak in a pipe, guess what? It's gonna make your water bill higher. You know what I'm saying? So that it's a butterfly effect. When they, when they're negligent. you know, I know that there's a leak in one of my pipes in this house, and it's caused my water bill to be $150 per month solid, sometimes $200 per month. There's no way that a family of three, there's only three of us in this house. This is a small three, this house is not big. It's a 3-bedroom house. There's no way that my water bill should ever be averaging between 150 and 200 per month. There's no way. My water bill should be no more than 80, if that. If that. But that's what it's been because there's a leak. There's a leaky pipe somewhere that needs to be tended to. You know what I mean? And so it costs more money if a place is not cost efficient, then that extra $100 that you're spending on each bill, that could go to savings. That could go into your savings account. So you can save up for a house to buy yourself. So, it's terrible. It's terrible. People should not try to turn what is considered to be the American dream into a nightmare for you. But there are people that are in certain positions of power, and they think that they have the right to do it. Okay, I'm sitting down now. Thank you so much. My passion is to have a physical, metaphysical store, but all this energy of me not getting my accolades is getting tiring. Yeah. Oh yeah, the spiritual, and I hate, I don't know, it's considered to be an industry, which is bad. A lot of us witches don't agree with it. Industrializing spirit, um, but it is considered to be an industry, and it's a tight ship. You know, you have to be prepared for when you put that metaphysical shop up for attack. It's not to say that it's going to be, I'm not trying to say, that's not a curse. That's saying prepare yourself. Take those preventative measures all the way from the bottom to the top of the ladder when it comes to that. And that's something that I have learned as someone that has been owning a sole proprietor small business for since 2015. What? Wow. What was the what was the basis? What was the reason? What was the reason for them putting him in jail, Malik? Was there like a state law that was written in or something? Because if there's any laws that are written, the government has the right to do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what they do. But I'm wondering what was the charge? Wow. They said he was trespassing. The governor here in Florida passed a bill saying people can't camp now. Oh, oh. What? Why? People can't camp in Florida? Oh, oh. I've been hearing a lot about that governor over there in Florida. I've been hearing it's been a lot of stuff and laws that have been put into place over there in Florida that people have been upset about. I've noticed that. Goodness gracious. Dang, people can't camp? Okay. Is it what is that supposed to do? That's crazy. I guess it's wow. And you would think that they would be focusing on putting, I don't know, the real bad people in jail. Someone goes to jail for camping. In the meanwhile, people are roaming around with murder charges. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, they do need to put more of their efforts into investigating real crimes, huh? That's crazy. Oh goodness. Mm, yeah, yeah. You're gonna send some stuff their way tonight. Well, that's good, but you know what? You may want to. That's good to do that, but Malik, broaden your horizon when it comes to the work that you do around that. Don't limit yourself as far as what you can do. I'm not going to say it here. Um, you know, you may want to broaden your perspective on that. You know what I'm saying? So sending some stuff their way that may work, that may be good, but you may want to just expand your consciousness around that situation completely, if you know what I mean. A lot of people, when it comes to spirituality, yeah, sending somebody their negative karma, cursing somebody, vengeance, teaching karmic lessons to people is important. But sometimes there's other things that you need to do with that to better self. So a lot of people think when it comes to witchcraft, that's what we do. We just curse people. That's not what we do. At least that's not what I do. Yeah. So you may want to just kind of expand everything around that, you know. So yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna get this cleaning done, y'all, and I want to get focused on it. So I'm gonna listen to some videos while I finish cleaning out this refrigerator and loading this dishwasher. I'm end up with two loads. Somehow I ended up with two loads. So my son can do the next load, and I'm gonna get these pots. And I've got a few pots and pans to clean. I'm gonna get that done and load up all these plates. Uh, yeah, I want to clean it up. You know, I'm not an old woman. To me, I'll be 47 this month. 40 is not old. 50 is not old to me. So, and 60 is not old. Yesterday, I met a 70-year-old woman that looked like she was in her 40s. Okay. And I've realized that that whole thing, I don't want it to be my legacy. And I definitely do not want it to represent my company. I don't. And I'm not, like, honestly, all that arguing and stuff online and going back and forth, you know, it would be different if it was a healthy debate, or if it was somebody that disagreed with you. But it just seems like a bunch of senseless chaos and senseless, you know, and it's no. So I am gonna work on cleaning it up, and I'll link that channel. It was a channel that I made a few years ago. Um, but I don't want people following me just for the drama. It's never been that way before, and how it got inverted, I know how, and I'm working on that. So people need to be prepared, because this channel, my readings are going to start getting more views. You know, the actual content that I enjoy doing is going to get more views. And I don't want to talk about those things that were essentially made up and created as some kind of diversion tactic, which I think is very, very deep. And I think gang stalking is a realm. It's a reality. It's a reality that you have to get yourself out of. Okay, just like if you're in a reality where you're dealing with an abusive man or an abusive partner, that is a reality that's being created, especially if you try to get out of the relationship and it seems like the rest of the world is judging you. You gotta, the people around you are judging you. That's kind of strange, isn't it? How do narcissistic or abusive people, how are they able to essentially do things to you? And some women and men even fear for their very life. But it seems like the people around you are very, what's the word that I'm looking for? Kind of casual about it. And who is playing with the puppet strings with that, you know? And then when you try to get out of that situation, when you try to get away from that situation, it seems like all of a sudden you don't get support, things go downhill, you lose your job and all that stuff. And then it starts seeming like the world is against you. That's not real. It may be the reality that you're living in, but it's not real. You've got to create things that are real, that serve you, that are what you want. Cause that's crazy. And then in the meantime, a lot of the times these women end up getting murdered, and then everybody's, oh, it's such a shame, and oh, these, and it's kind of like, as a witch, and I follow another witch on TikTok. Witches believe that, most of us believe that fate is what you make it. We do. We believe that. A lot of us. Some of us don't. We have different various beliefs. Um, but I mean, that's a horrible fate. That's the worst fate you could imagine. And I would never imagine that, or even have that in my vision. If I saw it coming, I would protect myself, which is why I have a protection from death working. Because and I think that that was created because I was in a reality where my life was literally in danger. So y'all might want to think about that. Let me get the rest of this kitchen done, because for some reason I'm having a hard time just how like you just get it done real. How you just get it done, and so for some reason the conversation is kind of distracting me from being able to do that. So I'm going to go. Yeah. My family and society made it out that I'm crazy and I have been in mental institutions for, oh no. Yeah, that's definitely, um that is the secret society. It's inside out. It's outside in. So that is the secret society. These different realities that are being created with different people, that it may involve certain families or bloodlines, and so if your family is doing that, okay, more than likely, once you get out of that paradox, it could possibly create a better family, to where that's kind of difficult, because what spirit is telling me is that your family probably did things to um, provoke you. And then when you become provoked, now you're depressed, or you got bipolar disorder, or you got schizophrenic. Well, a person that has, that's not a, that's not schizophrenia. If a person knows that there's some kind of, that people are talking about them, if you have your whole family talking about you, and they're involving people from outside of the family, and you're not paranoid schizophrenic. That doesn't make you paranoid, because that they shouldn't be doing that. Or if they're starting stuff with you, or bringing up things from the past, and poking you about it, then and and you get upset, which I do tell my clients to please don't get upset about it. Don't let them upset you. But it's very difficult, especially if you're dealing with some trauma from your childhood. But that doesn't make you bipolar just because you got upset or you got sad. Mourning somebody that passed away for a little while doesn't make you depressed. It's situational, you know what I'm saying? And so I totally understand that. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you got to get yourself out of that reality, or else you're not going to completely heal, Malik Young. Because it's, everything is being set up so that you won't heal, so that you'll stay sick, or you'll stay in that bad position. I can tell you. And they will follow you. They will follow you. One other controversial thing that I want to bring up is Gypsy Rose. And people literally like they hate her, right? And but I want to bring her up as an example. Um, her mother created the reality that she lives in. I just want to use that as an example. Her mother, who gave birth to her, who created her, created this reality. She created a reality where her daughter felt that she was in danger. She created a reality where she threatened the life of her daughter and told her she was going to murder her if she didn't continue to stay with her. And then now, what's happening now? She's still in that reality. She's under the scope of social media, under the scope of the news. And, I, for one, will say that I feel that she has every right to move forward in her life and live a good life. I do. I feel that somebody in her position definitely could do it, but I also think that it would have a lot to do with her knowledge of self, um and knowledge of what I'm talking about. Otherwise, she's going to live under this bubble that her mother created for her, to where there's going to be people that are going to be very judgmental against her. And they're not going to understand her. They're not going to understand that this young girl was literally had to fight for her own life in her. No child should be fighting for their own life in their mama's house. That's just weird to me. But the reality that she lives in, there's going to be a lot of people that don't understand her. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to hate her. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to use that as I'm not asserting any. Well, I already did assert my opinion of it, but I just wanted to use that as an example of what I'm talking about. Okay. So, on some level, on a very high level, your parents do create the reality that you choose to live in. You can either stay there or you cannot live in that reality. Mm, interesting, Malik. You're welcome. One day I'd like to have you as a guest on the show, on my panel, if you'd like to do that one day. But it would have to be at a time when you are where you want to be. But you are more than welcome. You're very welcome. You are more than welcome to contact me if you want to hear more about what I'm talking about. Because I'm going to be honest with you, there are a lot of people that are in your situation, that are in that situation their entire life, and they don't know why they can't get out of it. They don't know why they can't get out. Okay. And it just seems like when you're in that situation, the whole world functions for the outcome that's supposed to be. And you can change the outcome totally. Okay. You can change the outcome. And then, my suggestion is for you to also, going forward, check these landlords, because every single person that's in the reality that's hurting you is not bad. Some of them are there and they're going to be very fair with you. They're going to be very just with you. But there are some that are put into place to keep you at a certain level. And then sometimes it's done to challenge you and to teach you. But to go through something like that for so long, that's not normal. That's not normal. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'll catch y'all later. Y'all have a happy Saturday. I'm gonna go because I'm gonna get the rest of this kitchen done so that we can cook dinner. And we're actually having a fun dinner. We're having corn. Well, I'm gonna eat some of this. I'm gonna eat some soup. I'm in the mood for some soup today, even though it's kind of hot. We had a heat wave today, but we're having corn dogs. And I'm excited. Corn dogs and French fries for dinner tonight. So, yeah, yeah. Well, that's good. But see, that's because as long as you're under their bubble and you're under their radar, then they can control how you feel. They can. They can totally control how you feel and they can tap in whenever they want. You know what I mean? And I've dealt with clients that, some of my clients, they're living in these wonderful, realities where things are good. But then some of my clients, what will happen is that they'll get, I'll fall under their radar and then they'll start harassing me. The thing of it is that they can't do that. So, like, for example, if you're, and I'm not saying that you did this, but let's say somebody felt like you did them wrong. And let's say that the reality is being created for you to be cursed because you made somebody mad. And, they'll try to make it so this person that really hasn't done anything, whoever helps them, gets punished. And so that's something that my spirits have definitely already handled and dealt with. Like, because some people will put in their curses that this person never gets out of it, and you may be, I mean, you didn't do anything horrible to nobody, you didn't attack nobody's kid, you ain't threatened nobody, you ain't, but they'll take everything so seriously. It's like suffer the rest of your life. And so I found myself in situations with clients to where there was a spirit invoked that was supposed to attack whoever was helping them. And so that's why I work with Santa Muerta because, no, yeah, this person, what did they do? Oh, they called you a bitch? Okay. Is that all they did? And then you started going back and forth, and this person, and you could have walked away. It didn't have to be that way. So I've noticed that too, is that people will do that. Now, if it's a person that's actively a threat to your life, then they don't need help. They need to change their ways, don't they? If somebody's threatening your life, if somebody's threatening your livelihood, if somebody is trying to make it so that you can't survive, then that person needs to be dealt with in that way. But the punishments are not fitting the crimes these days, especially when it comes to people with their spiritual thoughts and stuff. So, yeah. Oh, wow. I've moved away from them, but okay, I already read that one. Yeah. Yeah, well, don't just try it, do it. And there is a way to do it. It's a way to do it, and it involves spiritual work. But I got to go, guys. Let me go. I will see y'all later. Y'all have a good one. I'm going to finish cleaning. I'm about to go in here and deep dive. I'll probably listen to a frequency while I do it. So, all right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Blessings. Bye bye.